Hello bass family and welcome to Everything Bass. Wow, today we are going on to the minor 7 flat 5 arpeggio. Now I should tell you the minor 7 flat 5 arpeggio is also commonly known as half diminished. And it's written on charts in a couple different ways. On some real books or in some music charts you might get, you'll see like, let's use the example of C. It might say C minor 7 and then in parentheses a flat 5. So C minor 7 flat 5. That's the longhand approach to this. But I do see it. And so that's the arpeggio we're going to be covering today. But I also see it, since it's known as half diminished, and the diminished symbol is a little circle, like a degree, like we have 77 degrees Fahrenheit, that little circle. So you might see a C with that little circle, but because it's half diminished, there's a line through the circle. And sometimes I see the 7 after it. So it'd be C, little circle, slash with a 7. And there's, I've seen some other kind of clunky notations, but those are the two primary ones at least I see on charts. So how do you play it? Well, here's the cool thing. If you understand the previous units, like how to play major 7, minor 7, dominant 7, if you studied that and you understand intervals, like I did 6 units of understanding intervals. If you understand those, then the actual name tells you what it is. It's a C minor 7, but you flat the 5. Let me explain. So a C minor 7 normally looks like this. Root, minor 3rd, perfect 5th, minor 7, and the octave. So that's a C minor 7. But we're playing the C minor 7 flat 5. So we take this 5th that I played and we move it down a fret. So we have now a root, minor 3rd, diminished 5th, minor 7, and the octave. So the C minor 7 flat 5 looks like this. I always like that sound. It's a cool sound. So other ways, remember my theory in teaching is to give you multiple ways. I call them memory points, memory triggers. Multiple ways to kind of remember this. Well, one is we can look at the triad. The triad is a diminished triad. So if you go back and if you've studied my previous unit, the diminished triad, you'll notice that this is a diminished triad with a minor 7 on top. And remember, the minor 7 interval is most commonly found on the same fret that you play the root or tonic on, but you skip a string. So that's a minor 7 flat 5 arpeggio, half diminished. Now we can also move this to having the root on the E string, and as you know by now, if you've gone through the series, it doesn't change the pattern as long as we don't include open strings. So in this case, we're going to do a G, and you've got the same diminished triad, the minor 7, and then the octave. I encourage you to definitely practice everything I show you ascending, go from the root up to the octave, and then octave back down to the root. Because as I'm famously quoted, music happens in both directions. So you want to make sure you can execute in both directions. Now, what happens if the root is open? Well, the shape kind of looks similar. It's just now 2 of the notes are played as open strings. Let's do the E minor 7 flat 5 arpeggio. So you've got an open E, the G is the minor 3rd, the B flat is the diminished 5th, the open D string is the minor 7, and then the E on the 2nd fret. So E half diminished, or minor 7 flat 5, from the open E looks like this. Now, same shape can be used for the A. You just move it up, and you got the A, C, E flat, G, A. Like that. So now we've got a nice collection of 7th chords. If you've gone through the whole series, you have major 7, minor 7, dominant 7th, minor 7 flat 5. These are all the 7th chords found in diatonic harmony, but don't be freaked out if you don't know what that means. We will cover it in future. But now, if you see any of those symbols I talked about at the beginning of the video on a chord chart, you know these are the safe notes to play. These are the chord tones, which are the tones of the chord, and we can play them as an arpeggio. Now, to give you a little idea of what's coming in future videos, is I'm going to show you how to do arpeggio sequencing, which will take these patterns that you learned and be able to play them all up and down the neck. It's really cool. It's one of the lessons I learned that really expanded my musicality 1,000 times fold. I'm in risk of overselling it, but I don't think so, because I got real limited by playing these patterns in 1 octave. I was really wanting to break out of that, and this exercise will show you how to do it. So look for that in future videos. So today we're moving on to the Encore item, and this is a great one. This is, a lot of stuff I'm showing you guys is stuff that is years old, decades old, stuff that kind of was major parts of my development, but I'm gonna show you something that's brand new. And this is the book, Bass Players to Know, Learning from the Greats by Ryan Medora. Ryan is a friend of mine, but I also would follow her writings, on No Trouble, and she's a great player. We work together a lot in NAMM shows, and it's just a joy to hear her play bass. She wrote this book, and I think it plays a very important part, no matter where you are in your bass journeys, in becoming a complete bassist. A lot of fields other than music, part of your education is learning like the history of whatever field you're in. If you're going through certain engineering classes, you're going to learn about early engineering and then how it progressed and changed and morphed. It's valuable because it makes you gives you a better, complete understanding of where your industry has come from, so that you can maybe make more intelligent decisions on how to take it somewhere new in the future. And I believe that's completely true with this. This book basically goes through, and this is the first I understand in a series, but it's populated with a ton of different players. But Ryan goes through here and basically gives a quick snapshot of multiple players in different genres, what they contributed, what songs you want to hear to kind of catch their style. This is not like super in-depth on one player, and I think that's good. I think it's great to kind of present a bunch of different players and get you kind of, if there's players you didn't know about, it gets you a starting point for you to do your own research. Now here's how cool Ryan is. She actually created a Spotify playlist that goes along with the book. So as she's talking about Willie Dixon, you can listen to songs that she's mentioning and get a really clear understanding of what she's saying. Additionally, she's a great writer. I don't say that a lot about some things I read and I'm thinking, oh, that's kind of hard to read, or it's a little too, there's a lot of fluff in the writing. This is really concise, very clear, got a great style. I find it really easy to read. So I totally, highly recommend Bass Players to Know, Learning from the Greats by Ryan Medora. It's available best by going to her site, her website, and I will put the link in the comment section below, so you can just click on it. She'll even sign the copy for you. And by the way, Bass Players to Know, Ryan's one of them. All right, so we've finished minor 7 flat 5 arpeggios, and we've got Bass Players to Know by Ryan Medora. I really appreciate you guys spending this time with me. How'd this lesson go for you? How'd this video work out? Did I explain it clear enough? Remember, if you're a Patreon subscriber, go to patreon.com/everythingbass. Every video, whatever the title of the video is, I make as a post there. It's so simple. You just find that post, scroll down, find it. You'll see a file link. It's just a PDF, so it's universal no matter what platform you're on. You can download the PDF. So in this case, you would get this series of neck diagrams where you could actually see what I'm talking about. And I think it helps give you a better picture, especially if you struggle with some of my descriptions. This might really help out. If you're not a Patreon subscriber, I would love it for you to become one. It's a very low monthly fee, less than probably, a lot less than even one single private lesson, but it'll give you a comprehensive library of materials for you to learn. And there's also going to be other things exclusive to exclusive to subscribers. Like there'll be some giveaways. I'll be putting my Creative Explorations book in a new form up there, a chapter at a time, so you can have some resources to read on creativity, all these things. And that really helps me grow this channel. But what else helps grow the channel? Well, if you could just like this video, that'd be huge. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Join the family and hit the bell icon, so every time I post, you will definitely get notified and you'll be able to check it out. Really love this time together. I'm very, very, very excited to be doing this with you guys. It's one of my favorite parts of the week, is sitting here and talking into the camera but knowing that you guys are seeing it. Also join our Facebook group, Everything Bass with Dale Titus. It's on Facebook. It's an open group. Just follow or like it. And there's daily stuff going on there. So if you just kind of want to hang out with bass players, share some thoughts. If you're having a bad day, it's okay, man. Share it with us. What's going wrong? You had a bad gig, something went wrong. One of your band members is being a dork. Share it with us. Don't carry that burden by yourself. We can share it all together. All right. Love you guys, and I will see you at the next video.